Today, I'm going to show you how to implement pagination within Matillion when we're getting data from Airtable and moving it over to Snowflake. We already have a couple of videos going over how to get to this point with setting up the endpoint and the API query, but this video is strictly dedicated to pagination and setting it up in this scenario. There are as many as 6 different ways to set up pagination within Matillion, but this way is specific to Airtable and what it calls for. As you may know from a previous video that we made on Matillion, this flow is effectively creating a server write back from Airtable to Snowflake server. But sometimes the records go over the data limit of 100 records that Airtable puts on us. This can be frustrating because your data flow won't actually capture all of the records within Airtable. So in order to do this, we have to implement pagination. The pagination process breaks up the Airtable API and how it sends data over into pages that then get turned into JSON and sent to our Snowflake server. This is our Airtable, and this is how it looks right now. Now, there's only 4 records, so really pagination doesn't really help us here, but I'm going to show you guys how it can help us if we restricted that 100 record limit to 1. Okay, first things first. Let's go to our endpoint. We're using video toot for our RSD file, specifically to this project. You can actually set up part of pagination through the standard settings, but we're just going to go straight to the code. It's easier to visualize what's going on. First, I want to show you guys this. I put this code in Visual Studios just so you have a better view of it. The code will be in the description below along with other videos on this topic. Okay, to give you guys an example of how pagination can be useful, this current setup here from backwards to repeat is what calls for the data. We're going to go in here and we're going to set a limit of just 1 for the page size. Effectively, this already takes place, but with a page size limit of 100 records. But we're going to set it to 1 to see what that looks like in our Snowflake. Okay, let's run it. First, before we run it, I want to show you guys that there's nothing in our table. All right, let's run it. It's running, and we're good. Okay, let's see. 1 record, this is what we expected. So currently we're being restricted to the single record. All right, let's go back and let's implement the full pagination so we can get all of our records. Okay, let's go back to Visual Studios. Ultimately, this is the code we want that will give us the results of effectively as many records as we want. We won't be constrained by the 100 record limit in Airtable. Delete that and paste in our new code. Keep in mind, all of the data here is unique, and you can watch our previous video to see how we put this in here and how we created this. But it basically just comes from our URL in Airtable. Okay, let's run this. Okay, running. We're good. Let's go check it out. Boom. We have all 4 records we expected to come in here, and they all look correct. Obviously, like I said, with 4 records, this isn't as important, but when you get above 100 records and even thousands of records, pagination is a critical part of your data flow. I hope you enjoyed. Stay for more.